Well, fall is in full effect here in Middle Tennessee in the Nashville area, and the fall colors did not disappoint this year. I did notice that the fall colors this year seem to come in really quickly, and they seem to be going out pretty quickly too, as a lot of the trees are already starting to drop their leaves. The beautiful scenery behind me, however, is Breeden's Orchard right here in Mount Juliet. It's a beautiful small orchard that grows peaches and apples, and they just opened a brand new market this fall, and this weekend we had the opportunity to come here with family. I'll put the link for Breeden's Orchard down in the description. It's a great little family-owned business right here in Wilson County. You should check it out. But real quick, I wanted to give you an update on the real estate market from my vantage point. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about changes in the market here recently, dramatic changes in the real estate market and the economy in general.
Everything has changed.
But I just want to give you from my vantage point what I'm seeing with the real estate market here in the Nashville area. One question I'd like to address right off the bat is it a buyer's market now? Well, the quick answer is no, but there is some good news in that for buyers at the moment, no doubt. So this summer it was a hot seller's market. What is a seller's market? A seller's market, statistically speaking, means we've got 0 to 5 months worth of homes in the pipeline for buyers to buy or buyers to shop for. A true buyer's market, on the other hand, means that we've got 6 or more months worth of home inventory for buyers to casually look around and buy, and all the negotiating power falls in the buyer's hands. That is not where we are. We are definitely still in a seller's market here in the Nashville area specifically, but the great news for buyers is, even though it's a seller's market, we are seeing that pendulum start to swing where buyers are gaining a little bit more negotiating power than they did in the past 2 years when it was pretty chaotic here in the Nashville area when it came to buying houses. So that means we are seeing more contingencies in offers. We are seeing more home selling contingencies or home sale contingencies in offers, meaning that a buyer needs to sell their current house in order to close on the new one, and those offers are being accepted. We're seeing requests for closing costs on behalf of the buyers. So in other words, buyers are saying, hey, Mr. Seller, we'll buy your house, but we need some help with the closing costs. We're seeing things like that start to come back around. Those type of contingencies, inspection contingencies, financing contingencies on offers, all those seem to go out the window here in the past year and a half. This past summer especially, when houses were flying off the market before they even got listed. So don't get me wrong, buyers, there is a lot of good news here for you that you've got some time to get to an open house. You've got time to think about an offer. You've got time to see more than one house in a weekend and try to figure out which one's going to be best for you. However, it is still a seller's market statistically speaking. So what's with all this talk about the market crashing? Is the sky really falling?
The sky is falling! The sky is falling!
I say the sky is falling!
Yes, I know. The sky is falling.
And the biggest question of all is, are we on the same course for the same housing market crash that we saw in 2009 and those couple years leading up to 2009, 2010, when things really went down the drain as far as the housing market is concerned? No, it's not the same as 2008, 2009. Let me put this disclaimer out there. First of all, I am not a financial advisor. Second of all, I am also not a fortune teller. So who knows what's going to happen in the next 12 months. However, when it comes to reading the data that I'm seeing here in Nashville and I'm experiencing with my own transactions here in the real estate market and comparing them to what I saw happening in 2008, 2009, 2010, it is a drastically different game. First of all, in 2008, all the problems financially were instigated by a housing market crash. That is not the same case here in 2022. One of the main reasons is inventory. Our inventory is still very low compared to the number of people that are wanting and looking to buy and sell houses. Now, are interest rates making that a challenge for a lot of folks? Absolutely. If you are a buyer, especially one who budgeted 6 months ago based on a 3% interest rate, and now you're looking at 6 or 7% interest rates, and doom and gloom, guess what? Those interest rates are predicted to rise even more. But there is still low inventory compared to the number of people that are looking to buy homes. That was not the case back in 2008. A second reason that the market here in 2022 is different than it was 2008, 2009 is that those of you that are seriously looking to buy a home have way better credit and way better credentials to actually purchase that home and afford it than folks did back in 2008, 2009. Guess how many people that are buying houses here in 2022 have a 720 credit score or above? That's a great credit score. Guess a percentage of those people that are buying homes, guess how many of them have a credit score of at least 720? 75% of home buyers this year have at least a credit score of 720. Guess what the percentage was back in 2008, 2009 of folks buying a home, having a credit score of 720 and above? Only 25%. Only 25% of the people that were buying homes back in 2008, 2009 had any business really getting the loans that they were getting. That was a huge part of the problem. That's not the case right now here in 2022. A third difference here in 2022 that makes the market different is people's home equity, the value that they've got in their current home. Love it or hate it, that value has skyrocketed over the past 2 years. Post the COVID pandemic and the craziness that followed in the next year and a half, the equity in most people's homes that have owned their houses for more than 2 years, they have so much more equity to work with, which gives them great buying power when they want to move on to their next home. So they can use that equity to put forward to buy their next house. That wasn't on the map in 2008, 2009. And as far as the inventory goes, because it's still a seller's market and we have relatively low inventory, as inventory starts to increase due to a lot of different factors, not the least of which is new construction ramping up and getting on a better schedule than they have been after a lot of supply chain issues that we ran into during COVID. As the inventory of homes starts to increase, these highly competitive numbers are going to taper off, and we're already starting to see that. The bad news as a seller, if you heard that your neighbor down the street sold their house for X amount of dollars and they had 20 offers the first day of showings and 5 offers before it even went on the market.
Oh, I'm rich! Rich, I tells you!
You missed the boat. Those days are over. However, if you compare the value of your house right now to what it was 2 years ago, I'm not a gambling man, but I bet you have a lot more equity in your house than you did just 2 years ago.
Look, you're rich.
Here's the point that I want you to remember today. Fear makes great headlines. So is the market gonna crash? I don't know. Are we headed for a nosedive in the real estate market? I don't think so. But I can show you statistically where you're gonna be left if you don't own a home already and you shelf that idea and you don't buy a house and you continue to pay rent. What you're doing is paying someone else's mortgage. I encourage you to look into the option of buying a house because you'll be investing in your own future instead of someone else's. Rent prices are through the roof, and statistically, as we look back over the years, guess what happens to the value of homes? It goes up. You're going to hear talk in the news of values of homes going down. Compared to what? Compared to 2 months ago? Okay. Yeah, the value of homes has been plateauing out because, as I've said before in this video, those steeply increasing numbers couldn't last forever. Those dirt cheap interest rates weren't going to last forever. But if you see headlines about the value of homes going down, find out what they're comparing it to. Because if they're comparing it to 2 or 3 months ago, okay, that's not a reason to cause alarm. What you want to do is look back a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. what is the value of your home worth compared to what it was when you bought it? Or if you've not purchased a home yet and you are considering being a first-time home buyer, there is no better time than now because you actually have an inventory to choose from, you have some negotiating power, and when the interest rates actually go down again, guess what's gonna happen to all those buyers that have currently tapped out at the moment? Guess what they're gonna do?
Here they come.
They're gonna come back. They didn't all die. They're just waiting for the market to change. Well, now's the opportunity for you as a buyer to actually have some options in the market, to actually have some negotiating power. A lot of lenders right now are using a phrase that you may or may not have already heard. It says, marry the house, but date the rate. So if you're not happy with where mortgage rates are right now, guess what? They're going to change. They may go up, then they may come back down. In fact, most likely they will come back down. It's just a question of when. Odds are they're gonna continue to rise here for a little while in the short foreseeable future, but they will come back down. And guess what you do at that point? You refinance. You can't go back in time and get that house or that perfect property that you've had your eyes on, and you finally have the chance to get that. If you're not happy with the interest rates on your loan, you will be able to change those in the future. So marry the house, but date the rate. The value of your home is going to go up. Look at these national statistics from the past 30 years for the median prices of homes in the US. They've gone up. Now, obviously, if you look at that small dip in 2008, 2009, into 2010, that's what people are fearing is going to happen again. But for reasons listed earlier in the video, it's not the same as 2008, 2009, 2010. If you are planning on purchasing a home and owning it for more than 2 years, who buys a house and only plans on living there for 12 months? You might buy it and keep it as an investment property and only live there for a year, but hey, more power to you. That's even better. I am all about investors buying homes right now because you actually have opportunity to do so. But if you look at the trajectory of the value of homes in the past 30 years, the value goes up. Let's get more specific. If you look at the 4 main counties surrounding Nashville, Davidson County, Wilson County, where I am, Rutherford County, down where Murfreesboro is, and Williamson County, where Brentwood and Franklin are, let's look at those specifically over the course of the past 4 years. Guess what? Their values have gone up. So if you are buying a house, most likely you're gonna stay there for 5 to 7 years before you decide to move again. And the value of your home most likely is going to go up. It is a great investment to get into home ownership. It is an even better investment to get into real estate investing. If you already own your primary residence and have been thinking about purchasing investment properties, reach out to me. I'd love to walk you through options for that process. But the main point is the sky is not falling. It's a great opportunity to buy houses here in Middle Tennessee, and it's still a fantastic opportunity in this seller's market to list your home for sale, even though you're gonna see headlines about, oh no, the market's crashing. It's a great time for real estate. I'm here to help. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can email me at andy@andyluskhomes.com, or you can just shoot me a comment down below. Please like and subscribe down below and turn on that notification bell, and you'll get notified the next time I post new content. I hope you learned something. I'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.